I am professor of digital humanities at Sasuga, and my name is Arantxa Sarantes. I am pleased to introduce you to Gerd Leonhard. Gerd Leonhard looks beyond conventional futurism, if there is any such thing. Pursuing practical wisdom, Gerd foregoes techno-optimism in favor of progressive humanism. He zeroes in on what the future holds for humanity and how we will create the future we want. AQ made CQ as Gerd remixes futurism with humanism, algorithms with androisms, science with imagination, and business with art. Gerd is listed as one of the top 100 most influential people in Europe. As an early voice on the dangers of unregulated big tech and exponential growth, and the best-selling author of Technology versus Humanity, The Coming Clash Between Men, Gerd's built a storied reputation as the go-to keynote speaker and thought leader when it comes to digital ethics, human-centric technology, and the need for a new form of capitalism. Gerd, what are the main challenges of the ethics of the 21st century?
Well, the main challenge is that technology is much more advanced than anything we can offer in terms of ethics or values. We have gone way beyond the speed of understanding what we are creating. So really technology is miles ahead of the way that we look at society and how we can keep up with it. So basically the intention of technology is to improve our lives, but it's become so powerful that it has become kind of a religion or a drug, you could say. And this is why I think we need a global digital ethics council. We need an ethics council also in the cities and the countries, in each government, that deals with the issues of good technology being used for bad things. That's one thing, that's called regulation. And also the other thing, which would be to use good technology, but too much of it, so that we get addicted to it, or that we start using it for dehumanizing, for no longer being human. For example, social media is one of those technologies, or of course the question of fairness and equality by using technology. For example, rich people could live longer by using genetic technology, and that would be a very, very big challenge. We are always regulating human capacity with technology, but now it has become exponentially more powerful. So very soon we can have nanobots in the bloodstream, or we can connect our brain to the interface, to the machine. So basically computer and brain can talk to each other. We're going to need rules about what is good and what is not good, and we're going to need social contracts and discussion about the consequences. The main thing is that we don't want to be in a place where the consequences are ignored, so that we are looking at the good things, but the bad things we forget. It's kind of like the oil industry or the gas industry. So the other thing is the desire to be superhuman. Well, that has been a long story, that we want to improve who we are, of course. But the desire to be superhuman, of course, is a major challenge today, because it's becoming possible to be more, not superhuman, but to be extra human, you could say. For example, by using chemical substances for faster thinking, for supporting your activities with virtuality, and so on and so on. So the desire to go beyond our limitations is good in principle, but we have to consider what Marshall McLuhan said 40 years ago, is that every extension of man is also an amputation. So we get new things by using the internet or television, of course, or virtuality, but then old things are being cut off, because we change our behavior. And we have to think about if that's going to be a fair trade. For example, a fair trade would be to have unlimited knowledge and data in your head by having a computer connection to your brain directly. Elon Musk, the Neuralink, right? But then what else would we be losing? Would we lose the capacity to stand alone? And I think this is the key question about digital ethics. Can we still live without that technology? Can we still function? And yes, you could say that it's difficult to function for us without Google or the mobile phone. But the reality is that if Google didn't exist or the mobile phone wasn't working, we are still human and we can still do many things. We'd have to go back to a complicated way of doing things, but we still exist. And as long as that question is answered positively, yes, I can live without this technology, then I think it's a different question. Happiness in the digital age, well, happiness is a general issue, of course, as we are contemplating what happiness means. It's not just about the digital question, it's about the general question of happiness, and I'm convinced that technology is not making us more happy in the sense of real happiness. It's making us more hedonically happy. It's providing more hedonism. Which is not a bad thing, but it's not the same as happiness. So I think actually that too much technology can get in the way of happiness, really. And that's something we have to look at. So also for that, we need an ethics council that says, okay, if we really want people to be happy and to flourish as humans, it's not all going to be about technology. It's going to be about humanity. So, and then the question of artificial intelligence, well, on that, I really want to say that right now, everything that we have really is more like intelligent assistance. It's IA, not AI, right? It's basically just a way of having smart systems help us to do our job. So, for example, image recognition, voice recognition, database entry, research, and so on. And that's rapidly changing with advances, for example, of GPT-3, the artificial intelligence transformer, that is being used everywhere now for all kinds of really mind-boggling models. Just look at YouTube and GPT-3 and you'll see all the examples. So that is really becoming smart. And so again, the question for us is, how much of that do we want to give up? How much of that will be a benefit? And how will we see the context? The main thing about digital ethics is, in my view, is that we have to start looking at the context. And what good does it do in the context of something else? What are the consequences? Right? What are the implementations of it? And what is the neighboring effects? So if we do the same thing that we did with oil and gas and the fossil fuel industry, we don't care about the consequences and the side effects as long as we have energy, right? Affordable energy. We can't do that with technology. We have to start thinking about the side effects, the externalities directly from the beginning of creating such a concept.
Thank you very much for your attention and to Gerd Leonhard for his collaboration. If you are interested on his works, please visit futuresgerd.com.